What's up, y'all? It's your boy RottenRoseQ back with another reaction video. And this time, I want to go ahead and break down the album name that BTS did go ahead and choose for this fire album that we are breaking down from song to song, making every type of reaction video too, because it's actually fire. I want to give a huge shout out to the whole Rotten Rose family that has been subscribing, showing some love in the comments, and even leaving the purple hearts if y'all understand what the BTS army is all about in the first place. But the name of the album, I'm gonna try to pronounce it correctly, but it's Arirang. I think that's the right way to say it. Y'all could go ahead and kill me in the comments if I said it wrong. But I wanted to go ahead and make this video because I wanted to shine light on exactly why they chose this name of the album and exactly what it means to them. Because from what I can hear and what I do see in the comments, it's something that does need to be spoken about. So without any more talking, let's go ahead and get straight into it, y'all.
BTS is officially back. After finishing their military service, they are finally resuming their group activities. Thank you for your service, guys, and 수고하셨습니다. But let's talk more about the album title because it is Arirang. I think this was a really great idea and also somehow really surprising as an album title and not so surprising at the same time. The title is Arirang. Arirang. For many international fans, it might be a new word or concept, but for Koreans, it's just impossible not to know this word. That's why the reaction in Korea is so explosive right now.
I want to pause this to read this. So I see, finally, the whole world is going to know about Arirang. I can't wait. I see Korean armies are the winners here because we don't even need to look up the meaning. Arirang will ring out across the world. Now let's make it joyful instead of sad and let the world know more about Korea. This is dope. I don't want to go ahead and mess anything up, but I have been doing some research here. And to the point of that last statement, this is something that means a lot and it shows a tradition for a very long time. So I want to continue to learn while we're learning together. Let's keep going.
There's already so much speculation about the logo as well, and by the end of this video, you will understand what Arirang is and why Koreans are so emotional about this title. So first, what is Arirang? It is the name of the most representative folk song in Korea. It is safe to say that every single Korean person from children to the elderly knows what this song is and knows the song by heart. You could also say that it's practically our unofficial national anthem. The structure of the song is really simple, usually repeating Arirang, Arirang, Arariyo in the chorus, which makes it very easy to sing along to. Because of this, it has been passed down for many generations and rearranged in so many ways, and it is said that there are over 3,000 variations of this song throughout various regions. And because it can be adapted so easily, you see it everywhere, from sports stadiums to modern pop remakes.
How did I not hear about this? I don't know, but this is fire. This is fire, man. For the musicians that's watching this right now, I believe y'all might have saw that I made this known in a few more videos before this, but having a reason to do something based on history, it gives you a little bit more fire under you to make sure that you actually are coming with something meaningful. And it's crazy because I've been pretty much dissecting the album and not necessarily knowing the meaning of the name of the album or exactly why they chose it. So this video was actually dope because it's giving me the understanding to know exactly why they chose this name. So this is dope. I'm also happy to see that this song was pretty much sampled. That's what you would consider this if this was a song in America, right? It would be a song that when it was created, it was a song that created a movement enough that even if it didn't go crazy on the charts or it didn't make the it didn't it didn't make the monetary value, it still meant something to the people, which that's kind of like mixtape songs out here. We got songs that back whenever mixtapes were the thing, 50 Cent, artists like Papoose, artists like Remy Ma, how we did a reaction to her. A lot of real rappers would put a lot of dope music on mixtapes. And if you were a true fan or if you were truly intertwined in the thing in the game, you would know those mixtape songs, and you would see sometimes they'll go to those songs while they're performing, and it'll make you feel so good because you're like, damn, I was there and I remember that moment. So it's crazy to me how this song had that viral moment and then got recreated 3,000 times. And this is way before TikTok. This is way before where we are today. So this is crazy.
In fact, BTS already performed an Arirang medley back in 2016 at KCON France. So what does the name Arirang itself actually mean? In fact, it's hard to give one definition, and since it originated from common people a long time ago, there are lots of theories about the meaning. Some people say that it refers to your loved one, some say it's religious, some say it's related to a historic figure, and others also say it came from a foreign language. But no one can know for sure because it has been passed down as songs over such a long time. Nowadays,
I love deep dives like this, y'all, and you guys know I do. So anybody that's in the comments that has a better understanding, or if you truly know what the first definition of this word was, go ahead and leave it in the comments because I would love for us to have this debate and give me more things to actually look up and maybe to actually make another video. We might have to make a part 2 to this, but let's keep going.
the word Arirang is mostly used and recognized as the most representative folk song of Korea. And Arirang carries more meaning.
Wow. Wow. Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. All right. So that's a reason. That's a good enough reason for them to create for them to use that as the title of this album. And I'm also doing my research on things that they've done before. I'm not trying to make it seem as if this album is like some sort of magical that they were not ever able to do before, because they got plenty hits. But I know that this album means something different. I know that this album has more eyes. I know that this album has more ears. I know that this album is pushing them forward. I see in my community people that might not have known who they were outside of the hit songs checking in. So this is a beautiful time, and I think this is a beautiful album and a beautiful name for it. And this just goes to show why. Let's keep going.
Meaning than just being a famous folk song. It was sung by independence fighters during the Japanese occupation between 1910 and 1945. My late grandmother was born during that period, and it was sung by families separated during the Korean War, which happened between 1950 and 1953, which is when my father was born, and as a song for hope for reunification. That's why we say Arirang contains the collective sorrow, the deep longing, and the resilience that Korean people have shared throughout our modern history. By naming the album Arirang, I think BTS might be trying to pack a much deeper meaning and message and emotion into this comeback than just promoting Korean tradition, even if they're not trying to include a deeper meaning. Just the fact that BTS is making the whole world study literally what it is, I think that just in itself is just phenomenal. So now you know what.
Yo, this is amazing. This is amazing. This makes me think of Bad Bunny's connection with his culture and the way that the world pretty much stops when he releases something. And when I see things like this, when I see gestures like this, I understand why when these guys are in the airport, it's gonna be a movie that people will stand out there for hours just to be able to get a few pictures of them, because they're making sure that they're giving back too. Respect is always a two-way street. So it's one thing when you want the world or your region, your community to love you, because that's what we all want, right? But how much are we actually willing to show our love for the community first? How many times are we actually willing to show our love, even if the community doesn't receive it the way that we wanted them to, but just to at least show them, listen, I'm from here and I love where I come from. And I love everybody that comes from what I've came from. Because that's what I'm taking the title of this album to be. Let me know in the comments if y'all think that I'm off here because this is just what I'm understanding. And as we do a deep dive into music and the bar for bar, as y'all know, I like to go. I don't like to look at 16 bars. I like to dissect them bar for bar, but mainly by 4 bars, 4 bars, 4 bars, 4 bars. So if we're willing to go down to each bar, we should be able to go through the definition of the album and why they named it that. Because that's something that I want to know with any artist. That's kind of important. When you genuinely get an opportunity to kind of figure out from the artist themselves, why did you create this album in the first place? Why did you choose this title? What's your favorite song on this album? Like when you get to break those things down from the actual artist, it hits harder, you know. So salute to them, man, and salute to Korea, and salute to this moment really getting a global awareness because of BTS and all of the hard work that they've been able to do. W.
Arirang is and what it means to Korean people. How about we take a look at the actual lyrics? Arirang has many variations, so let's look at the most famous version, 경기 아리랑, and the 4 main lines that everybody knows by heart. The first line is 아리랑, 아리랑, 아라리요. As I mentioned earlier, this is a chorus. You can't really translate it. 아리랑 고개로 넘어간다. We have the sound 아리랑 here, and 고개 is a hill or a mountain pass, and 로 shows a direction like towards, and 넘어가다 means to cross over. So whether you translate the part 아리랑 or not, 고개로 넘어간다 in the narrative form means that someone is going over a hill, and the hills symbolize trials and hardships of life. And the next line, 나를 버리고 가시는 님은, 나 means I, and 를 is the object marker. 버리다 means to throw away, and 가다 means to go, or in this case, because it's a person, 버리고 가다 means to leave someone. And 님, when used on its own like that, is a respectful way to call a beloved person in a poetic way, or in more modern Korean, a very blunt way to address another person online in a cold manner. But in this case, it's definitely like my dear or my love, with that honorific she.
Okay, so all right, I'm with him. But this is dope to me. This is wordplay, right? And for this to be a song that was revised 3,000 times by so many different people in so many different regions, can y'all understand why it's important to actually break down bars? Can you guys understand why it's important that you should take some time out when you're creating a 16 or a chorus and make sure everything hits? Make sure that even when you give yourself the first draft of it, you think about it and you ask yourself, how can I how can I say something in this better? Because anything that you're able to do better and better, you're gonna make stick. From what it seems like in the wordplay of this, it seems like it was said in a certain way on purpose. And even to the point of how he says how it's like it's a word that was used in a way of like beloved or just in a sweet way, my dear, back then. But then now it's used like in a cold way online. It's like it just goes to show what music done the right way will get you. You have no idea how long humans are going to enjoy your music. So make it count. Make it count.
See there, altogether, my love who leaves me and goes away. The fourth line, 심리도 못 가서 발병 난다. The first part is 심리. Ship is 10 and 리 is an old distance unit, which is around 400 meters or a quarter mile. So 심리 means 4 kilometers roughly or 2.5 miles. 도 here means even. 못 가다, can't go. 발병 난다 in the narrative form is not a very common term these days, but 발 means foot and 병 means disease or illness, and 나다 means to happen. So together it means you won't even go 4 kilometers before your feet start hurting. And as you can see, it's a desperate plea, like saying, I hope.
Once again, it's so many ways that can be said. So just as I explained, right? when you're making your music, you kind of want to make sure that you're throwing things in there that's given the opportunity for someone to be able to see the picture that you're creating. My thing is, if you're a stranger, right? When you create music, you want to create music that transfers into a lot of people being able to see exactly what you're trying to convey without us having to see you, without us needing to understand why you're saying this. With this breakdown, it's showing that even back then, there was a way to say things in a clever way. Clever ways meant more, especially when you talk about a song that might not have went diamond as far as like monetarily, but still spread through the people. If you want to spread through the people, you're gonna have to say things in a certain way. So we need to really figure out. I know it might be impossible. I would love to figure out who created this in the first place. We got to show some type of love and respect to the actual creator and writer of the first rendition of this. I think it might be impossible to find by the way that they're saying the story goes, but this is something I would like to know.
Hope you can't go far, so you will have to come back to me eventually. And we've just looked at 경기 Arirang, which is the most well-known version, but there are a few other variations that are quite famous too. The Arirang medley that BTS performed at KCON in 2016 was made up of 4 different types. 진도 Arirang, 밀양 Arirang, 강원 Arirang, and 경기 Arirang, which we just studied together. So we've actually prepared a separate downloadable PDF for you containing a detailed breakdown of the other 3 variations of Arirang. If BTS incorporated any melodies or lyrics from Arirang, it is very, very likely that they were from one of these 4 versions. I think it'll be fun for you to check them out first. So please click on the link in the description to get the file.
Man, that's dope. That's dope and that's amazing. I think it was a real nice breakdown, and I want to give a huge shout out to my guy here. The name of his page is Talk to Me in Korean. I will go ahead and add a link in the bio to his video so that you guys can go check that out as well, and go ahead and leave him some purple hearts in the comments because it was really dope for him to break it down. But also, man, W to BTS for making sure in every way that when you do look at this album, you have many different reasons to understand where they were going with this. And it kind of reminds me of like a Kendrick Lamar album. You have to continue to listen to it because every time you do listen to it, you'll be able to figure out that he actually did something else intentional that you didn't notice. So with this album, I didn't notice the significance of the name of the album. But just like you saw that one comment say, any of the Korean Army fans would have already knew. So thank Talk to Me in Korean for allowing me to know. But I just wanted to go ahead and make this video to allow some other people to understand exactly why they created this title of the album. But it's your boy RottenRoseQ. If you guys enjoyed this one, please go ahead and let me know in the comments, man. I appreciate everybody that's helping this channel grow. Yeah, that's my time. I see y'all soon.